Hello, and welcome to your very favorite, the one and only, the best of them all, Monday! Okay, I don't... Hello, everybody, welcome in. All of my sound things are wrong, so... So that's here. Cool. What's up, though? Welcome in. Good to see you Monday. Good to see you... Or I guess goodbye Sunday. Hello? Can you hear me? Are we live? Welcome in, folks. Chat. Twitch. Specifically Twitch chat. I'm sorry, I need a bright freaking drink of water. Y'all went wild today. That was actually really fun watching the dance party as we got started. Anonymous? Anon. Who you be? Who you be, Anonymous? Who you be? Guys, Anonymous has been on Toes Gang leaderboard. And Mrs. Tomato's like, how do we gift them something? We don't even know what... Oh. The dreaded eraser again. Help! Help! I messed it up. All right, it's all dirty again.
I'll clean it after.
Thank you, Anonymous. This is for you. Hmm? Sorry? Interesting. Why is that not turned on? Oh! Come on!
There we go.
Nobody wants to be ready for the stream, huh? What do you mean I'm late? You're late. Welcome in, though. Good to see you guys. We got some stuff to go over today. Boy, oh boy. So, I want to talk about monthly report, about some of the stuff that was in there. But I also wanted to go and talk about mining. Because there's so much commentary going on around mining in Star Citizen right now. And I think some of it is kind of ignoring the, what's it called? Where is it? Where's the thing? The future of crafting thing that they put out last week, 2 weeks ago? It explains some things, and then like there are people who are out there saying things that are 100% in that. And it's like, how do we get this information to people? How do we like, how do you make sure everybody has the knowledge? Which I guess is the ultimate challenge of humanity, because if we were all actually up to date on everything, we probably wouldn't be making so many stupid mistakes every week. Every minute. Jones! Mr. Jones! In the chat, dropping a membership. How you doing, dude? Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in here. I hope you've been lovely. Would love to have a chat. Hope you had a good weekend. Azrin 07s, dude. Welcome in. Good to see you. Old Greg, bro. Merhaba. Good to see you. Welcome in. You saw CR on Australian News Channel this morning? Yeah, we'll talk about that today as well. That's an interesting little bit. Yeah, so we got Chris Roberts showing up on some news channels suddenly. It's like really weird. We got mining, crafting, misunderstandings. And we've got there's something else. There was something else. Oh, the refactor problem. The whole, they keep refactoring things and it means they have to refactor more things. Like, it's kind of funny that when you get a new feature in Star Citizen, it basically means that it's going to expose other problems that they now have to go fix. Case in point, they've added crafting. Now we realized how much more we need when it comes to mining. Not in text on the website. We all know gamers don't know how to read. Well, I mean, they should just release all news in the form of ship trailers. I mean, let's go to their YouTube channel. Let's go to Hey, it's us. Where is the YouTube alerts aren't working? That's a big surprise. Balton! YouTube alerts didn't come on? Come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. All right, I've got tea right in front of me. I already know where this is going, so I'm gonna put this over here. And then I'm gonna give a big shout out to Balton. Hold up. It's not just because the Toes game. Give me a minute. Mr. Balton over here. Yo, I think my chalk handwriting's getting a little better. Like, it's still awful, but better. I don't know, you guys have to be the judge about that. Thank you, Balton. Thank you, my dude. Thank you so much. But even more so, I saw a addition to the org app related to our certifications. And I gotta say, dude, well done. It's beautiful. I can't wait to dig into it and see what's going on in there. But boy, oh boy, exciting things happening in GII these days. Chris showing his face more is good means Squadron 42 release soon. See, now, you say that. But I'm a Reddit frequenter. It's probably to my detriment. But I like the place, you know? I like a good discussion. It's nice fun. And yeah, I came across like these posts of talking about the news and him being in the news, and so many people are actually seeing this as a sign that they're going to delay. Yeah, 100% setting up for the delay. It doesn't really matter what happens. There will always be a sign that it's both maybe coming out and a sign that it's probably going to be delayed. This is because for over a decade, CIG's been saying it's going to come out and it's been delayed. So I get it. I get the skepticism. I just think it's funny how different reactions can be to the same exact thing in the same community. People are like, Star Citizen community, they're crazy. Oh, buddy, if you only knew how different two different people in the same community could be. That's good, team. Thanks to your content, I can easily stay in the loop with what's going on in SC. Thank you. Appreciate you, dude. Thanks to your content, I have great memories of a good joke of two men in a boat on a lake. I still don't know why, but it was a funny video. So, yeah, thanks for the good name in chat. Thanks for the good energy. Deadly Pajamas, you too. Despite what the haters might say, Deadly Pajamas are also good energy. I was a big fan of Pajama Sam as a kid. Promise that wasn't a rhyme. That was maybe a haiku. I don't know. And Deadly Pajamas would help you out there. Monsters were scary. Hi at Amsterdam. Good to see you. Welcome in, buddy. Got ourselves a little Twitch baby there. Thank you for the 9 months subbed up, bud. Not a tomato fetus anymore. You're a tomato baby. You are reborn. He's viable outside of Twitch. Revolve, you got an alert for 30 minutes. I think she meant active alerts. Which let's see. Alerts, YouTube alerts. I've got them here. Let me refresh them. I'm definitely bringing this screen down to eye level when we redo my desk. I feel like this is not doing wonders for my neck. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't be coming through. But you know what? Along with the desk, we'll probably redo some of the stream stuff, and I'm gonna try and make sure these things actually do work. But I keep saying that, and they just never do. It's a shame. I'm sorry about that, guys. To be fair, the post does take a lot of posts out of context. That post takes a lot of posts out of context to rile people up. Dude, what better hobby is there? Not good when CR shows his face at all. Ah, come on. Come on, let the man get out a little bit. Hi from Italy. Hello, Italy. Hello to Italy. I was last stream I was wearing a shirt from Italy. It's a good shirt. I love that shirt. It has a hole in it, so I know Mrs. Tomato is trying to... Its days are numbered. She's got her eyes on it. She's got a plan, but it's safe with me. You just finished watching Chris Roberts on 9 Channel News. You do try to get them to work. Yeah. Your neck and posture absolutely destroyed from year growing up playing at those little demo kiosks in the video game section. Oh my God, the one where the screen was up above you? Why'd they put those screens up so high? Because they were supposed to, they made the product for adults even though it was basically kids that were using them. You know, like many great things. Stupid adults. All right, let's look at Chris on the news, huh? What's this all about? Okay. So, some things have been happening over the weekend. Now, we've been seeing stuff over the last couple of months that may indicate that Squadron 42's marketing is picking up. May also indicate that, as some folks on Reddit might say when they see these things, they're gearing up for the delay. Who knows? But Chris Roberts is showing up on like random news channels now. He was in Australia a couple weeks ago for Atmosphere, a esports event thrown on by the Atmo guys. So we can pull that up real quick. And you can see you can go and find his interview. It's up here somewhere. I think, yeah. So him and Sandy sat down with Tyler and Crucian. They talked about Star Citizen. They talked about Squadron 42. He mentioned, I think the highlight that came out of this was like, Chris said they wanted to have full VR support in Squadron 42. People heard that and were like, oh, it's going to be a minute. Which, you know, I do not blame you for that kind of response to that. But I also do think that they're gunning very hard on VR right now. Like, I think it came in as a kind of a side project, but it proved itself when it was launched, when Sylvan and Yogi and all the folks in CIG who were working on that launched it, and it did very well. It was received well. I do think that was enough to push it to be a priority, at least for Squadron. I think they were already planning for it in Squadron, but I wouldn't have thought they would try to be having it functional for launch. That being said, he said it somewhere in here. Let's see if we can find it. Hold on. Oh, geez. Hate it when we do that. Why is that the same? It's just taking me to the same reference over and over. That's weird. Yeah, I don't really feel like actually finding this, but he said it somewhere in here.
Around.
Yeah.
And then so I don't know. I think I took it home.
Yeah, you did, and you put it in the
I
closet.
put it in the closet.
And then I opened the closet and started screaming.
Yeah. But I also occasionally I was like looking for stuff. I opened the closet. Oh no, it's my own head. So that I would say that probably is the one that takes the biscuit for the.
I picked a great moment to jump in there. So, anyways, that is all to say he has been getting a little bit more on the camera than he normally does. They've kept him in the. He was yearning for the mines, right? He's building the game this whole time, and so now we are seeing what seems to be a little more focus on getting out on the camera and making people more aware of this. 9 Channel News. I've never even heard of it, but that's probably because I'm not from Australia. 9 News is also in Colorado, it looks like. I'm guessing 9 News is all over the world. But 9 News in Australia is a pretty big news channel. I've heard a lot of people already saying that they've seen something about this on their own, like, TVs. What I want to know is if it's on YouTube, but let's watch it.
Squadron 42 is almost there and could be released as soon as this year.
Yes, it's taking some time, but the people that are in the community that are supporting it, they're, it's not like a traditional publisher relationship where they're, like, okay, we got to get it out for the quarterly earnings. We want to drive our revenue by this, or a private equity firm that wants a return on its money. The return on the investment for the community is the best game possible.
Can't hear? Too quiet? How do we turn this up? I guess I can turn it up here. I'm going to go back real quick. Dude, it's so short. It's only 34 seconds. But listen to what he says here.
Publisher relationship where they're, you know, like, okay, we got to get it out for the quarterly earnings. We want to drive our revenue by this, or a private equity firm that wants a return on its money. The return on the investment for the community is the best game possible.
I mean, yeah, okay. This is actually really closely related to something that I kind of wanted to discuss. I'm making a video about it for the main channel, so we don't have to get into it. Coincidentally, I already had this up. I swear to God, I did not plan that. He says that there's no return on investment planned, but like we have seen, I think it's note 29, possibly. There is no note 29. Which note was it? Boo-doo-boo. Where is that note? Because you can't just say things like that, I think, when we do have a little bit of a return. Oh my God, I can't find it anymore. What would it be? Let's see if I can search for the word exercise. No, that didn't work. I really got to memorize where these things are stated on these things. Working hard not to see... Oh, the full version. Ah, thank you. I will pull that up in a second. PricewaterhouseCoopers. 2,000 something shares. You know what? How about I look this up while we watch this? Works out better that way. 29,000 views, 13 hours. Thank you for giving me the official one on YouTube. Still quiet. Still too quiet.
Star Citizen is, if you ask my, 16-year-old self or whatever, I'd be, that would be the fantasy dream game.
It's one of the most ambitious video games ever made. It's also one of the most expensive.
It's partly because the game itself expanded in terms of ambition.
Star Citizen rivals only Grand Theft Auto 6 with an estimated $1.3 billion development cost. It's been in the making for 14 years. It's still
you
not
Australians and your fake dollars.
fully released, but it's never been closer to liftoff than today. Chris Roberts has been designing video games for over 40 years.
If you asked me when I started this, if you'd be talking to me 14 years later, it's still not finished, and but everyone is going stronger than ever, and there's more and more people than ever that are playing it and supporting it, I would have probably thought you were crazy, but here we are 14 years later, and it's still going strong.
In addition to the main Star Citizen experience, Roberts has also been working on a single-player campaign, Squadron 42.
Squadron 42 for me really is, if I had a really big budget and lots of time, and wanted to make my ultimate version of Wing Commander.
We will not lose!
Squadron 42 features a mega star-studded cast.
We performance captured and scanned all the actors, so it's very much like what Avatar did, but when you're in the game, it's like it's a digital Mark Hamill, and that's digital Gillian Anderson or Henry Cavill, and it looks like them, and it is their performance we fully captured. So the concept
Cavill
is that you are the star of this big epic sci-fi space opera.
No sudden moves.
Who the hell are you?
On a recent trip to Australia, Roberts met with fans and the wider Star Citizen community.
I mean, it was an incredibly professional sort of esports event, and then there was sort of a Bar Citizen attached to it, which is we sort of started the idea quite a few years ago of Bar Citizen, where the people that are playing Star Citizen in their local town could meet up at a venue and meet people that also loved Star Citizen, and maybe meet the people that you knew online and meet them in person, which is kind of one of the really cool things, where I feel like there's a fair number of people in our community that made friends via Star Citizen.
Wow.
While Roberts is yet to put a date on it, Squadron 42 is almost there and could be released as soon as this year.
Yes, it's taking some time, but the people that are in the community that are supporting it, they're, it's not like a traditional publisher relationship where they're, like, okay, we got to get it out for the quarterly earnings, we want to drive our revenue by this, or a private equity firm that wants a return on its money. The return on the investment for the community is the best game possible.
Okay, so couple things in there. First of all, I think this is a terrible way to market Squadron 42. Not gonna lie. I think opening up, maybe this isn't marketing for Squadron. Maybe this is just they randomly picked it up, but I don't see this any other way than as some kind of additional marketing. And I just don't think this is a great idea. If you want to impress and wow people with a very cool star-studded campaign of like space adventure and aliens and stuff, don't start it out by talking about the 14-year in development meme of a game that people immediately tune out when they hear the name, I don't think they should even be mentioning Star Citizen when they market Squadron 42. It just a little backwards in my opinion. But that being said, I am glad that they're starting to try and build some awareness. That's cool. And it could be pointing towards something good. The other thing, though, was the statement that I talked about earlier. The idea that there's no investors that they have to pay back is a little bit not true. Now, I still don't think that I've found the exact statement I was looking for, but if you look here, this is on January 15th, the company issued 247,520 shares to an existing shareholder, thereby increasing their shareholding. The group has drawn down a £10 million loan under that. Principal is repayable in full on 31st of December, 2027. So that's like already one loan that they are having to get a return on to pay back investors. It's not that much. 10 million is not a lot, but it leaves room for like people to poke holes through that statement when you say stuff like this. The other statement that I have not found yet, but it's somewhere in here, is the idea that, and this was something that I saw somebody say in the actual Reddit thread that I was covering, that the Calders want their money. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, right here. This is what we went over with Citizen Skylark. It'll be out in a podcast this week as well as a video covering it. But right here they say, no, that's not it. Is this it? No. Dang it. Nope, this isn't it. The numbers are also similar. There is a liability period that they have that can be opened right now to pay back the investors, but it's not. And so there is some money involved in the decision making here. Whether it's money that's being paid because they know something's going to happen, or it's money that's being held onto or left in the project because they know it's something that's going to happen, doesn't matter. But to say that there is no money involved outside of the backers isn't quite getting all the information. No, I just keep coming across this other loan. I can't be bothered to look it up right now, but it is in here somewhere if you want to read through the whole document. You could. Oh, found it. He didn't say investors. No, he did say. He said venture capital. I guess venture capital is a specific kind of investment from like a company or something. But this was the one I was looking for, where it was saying 277,000 shares have their put rights exercisable on the 1st of January 2028. 1.599 million of those shares, the first put rights are exercisable between the 1st of January 2026 and the 30th of September 2026. So even for people who are like, oh, the Calders want their money, they're not getting it. They could ask for it right now, and they would receive it. Well, I mean, maybe they did ask for it, and they are receiving it. We don't really know. Like I asked Citizen Skylark in the podcast, I was like, if they have already exercised those puts, and they are extracting money from CIG, would we even know that right now? And he's like, no, not really. There's no way they would have to report it to us. We're just the backers. They're not a public company. So anything could be happening, but I do think that we're seeing good signs of Squadron 42 getting closer. Some of the things that are starting to be ported over to Star Citizen actually, it feels more like in 2023 when they were like, oh yeah, Squadron's finishing up and we're porting things over. They actually are now, which is different. The VR working, the fact that they are starting to, it seems, move things around in terms of like the conventions that they're going to and the plans they're making. They still haven't made any announcements. I don't think that they're going to announce an in-person CitizenCon this year. I'm thinking maybe they'll do an in-person launch event if they launch, but they'll probably do something digital again this year. They're not trying to spend all that money. Like in 2024, they were only profitable because of tax credits. That's not to say that they're in trouble, but I do think that they do still have to really pick and choose where they're putting the money. And I think CitizenCon is probably not the best place to put it this year. So I would bet we're not going to get a physical one, but we'll probably get like some kind of thing that happens if they launch Squadron. Either way, maybe they're starting the marketing. Maybe this is just a coincidence, but we'll see. Hope that helped. Since 10 million is not a lot, can you have a little money too? Depends. Can you build a video game? If you can, I got you. First I just need to find somebody else to give me the 10 million. I'll pass it on to you. And then I'll let them know that we can pay them back the 10 million. Once I find somebody else to give me 10 million, we can give it to them. I call it the, I don't know, maybe like a money sharing scheme of sorts. As long as there is cool goodies pack, you're okay with that. Ruben, good to see you, dude. How you doing? What do you guys think? Do you think this feels like legitimate marketing, or just kind of he's just showing up on a news channel for some reason? Oh no, not that. Don't do that. Move that to trash. Don't do that. The Monday catch up. We can pretend to build a full video game. We can. Very good at pretending. Do you think it's possible that they'll add VR to Squadron 42 after the launch for timeline's sake? Yeah, but he already said. Excuse me. Jesus. He already said it was going to be there at launch, and I don't think they'll miss that. Then again, I don't know what it takes to get virtual reality running in a video game, so I can't really speak towards that. Dash2, thank you for the the Prime sub, dude. Much love, friend. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And okay, thought I missed something on YouTube. You just think Summer Games Fest being so close to Invictus, they kind of have to push marketing around then if they want to plan on avoiding GTA and releasing this year. You guys think that that GTA is going to start their marketing at Summer Games Fest? It almost feels too small. It almost feels like that's an advertisement for Summer Games Fest. They're starting their marketing campaign with GTA. It's like, are they going to do a Rock Con, a Star Con, Rockstar Con? A fan who is a supporter likely wanted to do an interview to fill in some airtime. Oh boy, I hope that's not that. That would be concerning. You think so, Bolton? Do they do that? What would that be, like a 2K con? 2Con? The 2Con. They said GTA 6's marketing begins in summer. Dude, it's already summer here in California. I don't know when that means. That's like a 6-month period for me. GTA does need marketing, really? Marketing is such a... If you think about marketing as more than just like letting people know something exists, it makes a lot more sense. I realize that sometimes. Hey, Maverick, thank you for the 69 bits. Dude, very nice. I realize that sometimes when I have bought something, like I just ordered this table, right? We get a new desk, we're gonna it gets here today. I'm so excited. Probably can't lift it myself. We're gonna set this desk up, and I ordered it. I already bought it. I'm good. I feel great about it. I don't need to be told any more about it, but I see still some marketing about it, and I realize, oh, this is like affirming my purchase. This is also reminding me that I made that purchase, and I made that purchase from the company, and it's a good purchase. And then it tells you, oh, okay, well, that company has peripherals, accessories, other stuff that you can go get. I mean, how many times have you seen people arguing on like Reddit about consoles, the console wars? Which console's better? It's all marketing. Just affirming your decisions to buy a certain thing and then making you want to get more of those certain things. I know I'm 14 and this is deep, but like really, marketing always matters. It always helps. Even if somebody knows that GTA exists, even if they know GTA 6 is coming out, even if they want GTA 6, seeing it more than something else will still make you get it before that, or at least encourage you to. Gonna start Q3. Assuming GTA 6 doesn't get delayed to 2027, its marketing is scheduled to start between June and August. We call that double summertime. You think it's gonna get pushed again? Wait, who said that? What was that? Doc Rennie. Definitely agree with CitizenCon being a launch event for Squadron. They have to nail Squadron. That will be the influx needed, and they need a commit for the PU 1.0 release to keep folks. Dude, I do agree. Squadron does need to be... Squadron's changed in my mind. Back when we were watching Squadron 42, like... Let's go back in history, shall we? Back to the olden days. Somebody asked me about this a couple of weeks ago on a stream. I was talking about how Squadron 42 is kind of based around the social part of the game. Like, you're not just shooting people. There is a whole home base that you're supposed to be in, interacting with people socially, talking, learning stories, all that kind of stuff. Let's go back and find one of those episodes of Around the Verse, they used to call it back then. Because back then it felt like a different kind of game. I want to see if we can find something around like 2019-ish. Around the Verse. Strengthening core tech. Applied intelligence. The living Idris. That's going to nail it for us. All right. A little blast from the past.
Hello,
welcome to another episode of Around the Verse. I'm Sandy Gardner.
And I'm Josh Herman.
This week's episode...
So this is basically what Inside Star Citizen used to be. It would be the monthly report from one of their studios. They would do a new monthly report every week from one of their studios. So you get one monthly report from each of the 4 studios every month. On top of that, though, they'd always pick like a topic of the week. So it would be sometimes there'd be Squadron 42 episodes. Sometimes there'd be episodes about a specific type of tech. But in general, it would be split by a progress report and then a specific report about something. These Squadron 42 ones actually had a lot of information about Squadron 42 and what they were trying to do with it. And if you look through enough of them, you start to get a really good idea of where they want this game to be. But again, maybe their whole design of the idea didn't change at this time. My idea of what it was supposed to be definitely changed between then and now. And I'll show you why in a bit. Clay, thank you for the Prime sub, by the way. Hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I think it's close to being done. Sir, it's turning out. Hopefully, we can put it to rest this shift. Sir, I'll let you know either way. I've got to.
There's been a lot of work going into improving the pipeline for getting these scenes into the game via the subsumption system. For example, August Beck, who's the quartermaster from the Stanton. She now has her activities set up and is in the game. The quartermaster generally takes charge of stocks, distribution, and oversees the work done by the support crew characters who do a similar job. All the AI usables that are in the cargo bay are now going into the game for the AI to interact with, so we will now see her moving around the area much more believably, checking stock and generally chatting to other AI characters. Finally, as part of the mission setup, more of the game's interstitial moments have been worked on using tech developed as part of the vertical slice, meaning more of the ambient life moments are being implemented into the other chapters and locations within the game. So that's it for me this week. I hope you enjoyed the update. Thanks for watching. See you next month.
Thanks, Phil.
Yes, thanks, Phil. Back in December, the vertical slice that premiered right here on ATV gave us a look at a UEE Idris frigate and its substantial crew. The developers have been working on some impressive tech that will help bring that crew to life.
Now let's take a closer look at the AI systems working together with story and player interaction to turn the Idris into a fully immersive experience in this month's feature.
Okay, I was only like a minute off.
Living Idris to me means, as a player, you can walk around the ship.
Living Idris is just Idris Elba, guys. You got to pick a different name.
Everyone else is doing, like, it's this sense that everyone's got their own life, their own sort of routine, their own personalities as well. Like, so, for example, if an AI is walking by a guy who he doesn't like, you know, he might not say hello, but if he walks by the player and he does like the player, you know, he's going to say hi, or he's going to go out of his way to sort of greet him and interact with him. So it's all like this minutia, all this like minor details that make up.
See, that does sound like kind of a lot, you know, if you haven't talked to people, then they don't really greet you that well, but it tracks, I would say, probably with other RPGs. And I think what benefits them a lot with this kind of system is that you are locked into just this ship for the whole game. So it doesn't have to be like a lot of other open world games where you're going to different population centers and they kind of got to reset everything for each time you move. I'm playing Star Wars Outlaws right now. Every planet, you'd have to go and build up your socialness with everybody. But with this, you got the same characters the whole game. And I do think that probably helps them simplify it a bit.
The whole story of what like an AI can do.
What the Idris shows is that every NPC has a meaning, has a background story, and you can actually talk with them. They can tell you some, rumors, or each of them has a different personality.
So the goal of the Idris was always to create a ship for people, and we want you to walk around the ship and see these people going about their lives, doing whatever their role is, and generally just doing what it is that they want or have to do. So in doing that, we have every character on the ship has their own name, their own rank, their own role on the ship, and that's spread among all of the different disciplines. So we have lots of bridge crew, engineers, gunners, deck crew, even janitors and medical personnel, and they're all spread out quite well considered given what
I love the little head movements.
Might be. And then we have to spread that out across different shifts as well.
Man,
So
this
you
freaking
might
frame
see
rate's killing me
somebody
now.
doing a certain role or in a certain shift on one chapter of the game, but then on the next chapter of the game, they might be off duty and you'll see them in the mess hall talking to people. And everybody is doing their role on the ship regardless of where you are. So you could be at the complete other end of the ship and they'll still be doing their thing. It's not like they despawn as soon as you've turned the corner.
The day-to-day,
It's the what do they call that? They freaked out about that when they were doing it in like the Bethesda games. I think they called it Radiant AI, where they just keep doing your thing. I do like the idea of the people being like off duty sometimes, but I'm also wondering how many of these stories are going to just get cut short by them killing off characters.
They'll be doing their thing. It's not like they despawn as soon as you've turned the corner.
The day-to-day of a AI on the Idris is essentially governed by this concept of a schedule. So on a Monday, all this means is that on a Monday, someone might be a Marine and going about their business as a Marine might do. So he might go to the shooting range, he might go to the Idris Bridge and stand guard, do all this sort of stuff. Then on a Tuesday, he might be off duty. So all that means is he'll go to the mess hall if he's hungry. He'll go and lay down if he's tired. He might go to the shooting range again if he's feeling like he wants to shoot some stuff. There's also things like arcade machines if he's feeling bored. And it's this idea that everything is kind of governed by what an AI wants to do. So, again, if he's hungry, he's going to go eat. If he's tired, he's going to go lay down. We just give them options and then they go do it.
It's battle. It's The Sims.
Our game has this kind of huge opportunity to be a simulation in first place. So you want to feel real. And having a character that stay there forever, it doesn't really feel real.
For example, we might have a Marine who by default is supposed to be on a guard post, and he will go to the guard post, but if somebody else is already on the guard post, he may say, oh, well, I can't do that. So he'll decide he wants to go do some training, either at the shooting range or just simply running around the ship and doing that sort of thing.
We really want that the AI can tell a story to the player. So to achieve this, of course, there is not just one tool that can do it, or one feature, let's say. We try to embed inside the subsumption tool a lot of different functionalities so that designers can create a behavior that can tell a story. We want to have the systemic behavior to feel real, two characters talking in the mess hall and not just eating. Three guys walking together, or two joggers running around, and while they run, they try to keep their pacing and talk about something. But you also want a mission to tell its own story. So on top of the regular systemic behavior, you might need the story to follow a specific storyboard. If we look at the...
All right, I'm going to take you guys forward a little bit to this scene here. Because this is where it starts to shift. The idea of what this game was becoming back then, and what it is now. The design seems to be mostly the same, but the scale has just risen so hard. And I do not know if they're going to stick to this idea of how the AI look and work. That's not something they've really focused on when they talk about the game in this new age. The game sort of shifted around this same time, around like 2016, 2017. I think this is when it's coming out. They brought some new folks on, and they basically went and redid Squadron 42 from what I've heard. So it is definitely possible that they're not going to do the same thing with the AI and that they've simplified the way that the simulation works. But if you look at just the way it all looks compared to the footage today, you can see a big difference.
So you arrive to the pilot room, you start to talk with Old Man, and then there is a moment in which if you don't interact with the game takes control. And it just, you have this really cinematic moment. You can look at the face of the character, you're just not listening from very far. This brings more immersion. And the immersion is kept persistent with the fact that you still are in control. If you want to move around, interrupt the cinematic camera, and then you can go close to the prisoner and actually look at them, and they are actually performing all their actions.
I bet they changed this. I mean, I'm sure they wanted to keep it, but I feel like they've tried to go for such a more cinematic experience now that this would kind of break you out of the immersion if you could just walk around the scene.
Then you can go close to the prisoner and actually look at them, and they are actually performing all their actions. The mission, on the other way, can also tell the characters.
This just wouldn't make sense in the context, right?
Next. So after you take off from the Idris, you want all men to fly towards the next position for the next mission to do, right?
So the activity setup we've been doing has been really interesting over the last few months. We've done a big refactor of all the guys on the Idris. We've got guys like Marines, engineers, off-duty characters, bridge crew, all the deck crew guys, even janitors. And the way I've been approaching it is I would sort of role play it a little bit. So when I'm setting up, say, an engineer, I would think like, what's an engineer going to do today? Like, what's his job? Is he going to inspect all the ship parts?
If you've been around here long enough, you know what this is. It's subsumption, yay!
So, you know, see if they're broken. If they are broken, what's he going to do then? Is he going to call up a repair guy, ask him to come and repair it, and then like move on, and all this sort of stuff.
So there's a lot of this, dude. This is
Benton, plenty of hot water to go round.
One of the things that we're very aware of
they
is
just spend a lot of time explaining how this ship worked.
It's supposed to be somewhere between 30 and 50, but as we were testing out the Idris and the crew and filling it up, 30 and 50 people just wasn't enough. We were walking the passageways, and it just felt too empty. We didn't feel like we were getting that sense of vibrance that we wanted in life. So we added more and more people until it felt right. And now the Idris is at about 81 people, including the player. And to put that into perspective, if you look at the live stream demo, we had 12 people just on the bridge, and that was without the captain or a co-helmsman in there. So you can see how it would quickly fill up everywhere else as well.
From a designer.
All right, that's enough of that. So that's kind of where I was coming from when I was talking about how much they wanted to focus on the social aspect of being on board these ships as you're flying through Squadron 42. And if you look at some of their more recent advertisements for the game, because as I did say, they had a big reset at some point. I don't know when exactly, but it was around that time. And you can see definitely that there is a different scale to the game in terms of graphics fidelity, and I think in terms of the cinematic quality of it. But also, you can still kind of see some of that story focus they wanted, some of that character focus. And they even highlight it in some of these cinematic, the more cinematic
so you can imagine
sections
my
here.
Surprise. Detailed lighting passes can be done on hero sequences so we can show our cast and convey their emotions in the best light possible. And we're making sure our cinematics are triggering as fluid as we can craft them so they form a coherent concerto with the rest of the player's narrative experience.
Mr. Wexler, this is Lieutenant Commander Colton.
Oh, Commander, hey. Julian Wexler, I'm the field manager of this little operation. Welcome aboard the Archon. What brings the Navy to this little corner of the universe?
We got you flying with Lieutenant Commander Colton. He's one of our best.
As others will share, this is the most rewarding chapter of development, which allows us to truly experience the visceral and oftentimes emotional moments that our narrative provides.
How did you handle it after Vega?
I'm not sure I handled anything. It helps to remember that stuff like this is supposed to hurt.
I've never been good at dealing with problems I can't fix.
Well, this is one that you don't have to do alone.
That's good to know.
I think it's gonna be a fucking movie, dude. So yeah, you can still see that they're trying to go for all the character interaction and stuff, and I think they're gonna depend heavily on the characters for the story. There's a ton of combat and action here, but there's also just like there is so much focus on this idea of like you're in the ship, you're working with other people, it's not just a sort of get out, run missions and do combat. And I do believe I've heard this is how Freelancer was formatted. I didn't get to play it. We probably should at some point here soon.
Enormous universe of people going about their everyday lives.
Let's go ahead and clear for takeoff. Ground crew, prep bay for takeoff. Copy that. Hangar, ready for launch. Takeoff approved, Baron 2. You have the ball.
This is so much better than it used to be. It's so much better of a presentation.
Hold on as you're launched off the deck of the carrier.
It feels like a game. I'll show you what this used to look like.
Baron 2, you are cleared for launch. Have a safe flight, Baron 2.
Wow. They're literally like, we're gonna put everybody in space Top Gun. I want to show you what that scene looked like back in the period I was just showing you in the old Squadron 42. Cause it's pretty bad in comparison. Let's see. And I think this is like the biggest thing when people are like, oh yeah, they've always said Squadron's coming out. Like you can see this. There's either two things they've done here. They've either, one, actually gotten better at making the game and it's getting closer to a release and it's, looking pretty good. Or two, they've gotten better at scamming and they know how to make much prettier trailers to trick people, which would then be like, why are your old tricks so bad? So take of it what you will. But this is what this sequence used to look like. You can hail to the cargo station by looking in your comms MFD and clicking on the actual cargo deck line.
Baron 2, hold position.
Systems green.
Now here's a big problem here.
Attention, ready deck crew. Air shields up.
The lighting is so bad you can't even see the person who's trying to tell you what to do.
Baron 1, you're up first.
Copy that. All right, gentlemen. Fire up.
Square the deck. Let's light it up.
It still has good vibes. Like I still feel it, Not like it's a bad setup. You could just tell that it clearly wasn't polished or ready for any sort of prime time. It's also like, this is the cinematic part. Now this is where it takes you out of the immersion. You do all this, cool music and everything, and then watch.
Engines online.
Kind of gotta like peer through the darkness to see this guy. You don't know who I'm looking at.
Launching!
Contact.
Baron Actual, Webb wanted to remind you to test out the scanner
So yeah,
before you head out.
the game changed, and I think it's still going for the same vibes. Clearly, like, it's the same kind of stuff, the same scenarios, the same emotional conversations, the same idea that your whole crew is there and acting alongside you and you've got to like work together with them. I think there's actually a really good spot here where they show off some of the medics and talk about that.
This means we're pulling, repairing, and inspecting, and making sure that your next flight mission is a success. This means we're looking out for pops, hiccups, or awkward transitions, and ensuring that everything flows and looks like all the great mocap performances we've captured.
Let's ready some extra ice packs out of storage. Whenever gunners are on full rotation, you can always count on at least one of them getting hurt.
We also have you covered in everyday life. The medical staff work diligently for their patients, whether they're players or crew.
So they still kind of give this sense like everybody's still working and doing all their stuff. I think they're still trying to ship the same kind of game, but it looks like it's taken a step up, so I think it's got to have a good release. It's no longer like, oh yeah, they can just cruise on by. I think Squadron 42 needs to be good. So, no pressure. It's only been, you only have to live up to 14 years of hype. You got this. Woo, it's gonna be rough. I mean, it's gonna be rough, I think. But it's always rough. Every launch is rough. I think it's gonna be rough because there's no way they're gonna live up to the expectations. But if the gameplay is good, honestly, I think the biggest thing right now I'm worried about is going to be the overall writing, like the macro writing, the story. It could just be a cliche space opera. It could, but I really got my fingers crossed that it's not, and that they've got some interesting possible plot points to follow. But I think they've kind of proven themselves in level design. That was one place where I was still kind of iffy with, but I think the recent things that they've been dropping into Star Citizen show that they've got some decent level design, and mixing it with a good atmosphere seem to be able to hit some good stuff. We even saw we got some idea of a little bit of like the puzzle sort of based gameplay that they wanted to get into from this video, actually. This kind of stuff.
Unique to each location, while allowing us to tell the story of the world around you.
Cutting your way through things. It's more the environment, I think, combining them.
We play and review the builds regularly.
Oh, no, he's salvaging here. I thought this was cutting. He's salvaging RMC, or I guess something.
Action points in each level from start to finish, and where we need to improve the gameplay.
A little bit of a
and
glitch
call out
there.
Action points in each level from start to finish, and where we need to improve the gameplay.
Can't wait for that military tractor beam.
This is an incredibly rewarding stage of development for me and the team, as the ultimate vision of the game is realized, allowing us to craft an experience that we can be really proud of. One specific area that I'm excited to dive in is the feeling of the player interacting with the world around them.
Patching you in.
As it's a core component of Squadron, and really grounds the world that you inhabit.
Yeah, this stuff's gonna...
We've made sure that any interaction in the environment is physically represented by a character animation.
People gonna eat this stuff up in VR.
To keep you in the moment and fully immerse you in the experience that we've created.
Isn't that the laser cutting tool?
Ultimately,
I thought so too, but it says collecting material on it. Material stored.
We play and review the builds regularly.
Maybe he is decreasing. I don't know, man. Looks like salvaging.
And call out action points in each level from start to...
But yeah, there's a lot of these. They're freaking rope tech. I love it when he calls out the rope tech, because that was such a joke on the monthly report for a minute there. It was like the mini version of the bed sheets tech that people had a field day with.
Us, as it is making sure we hit the visual quality that CIG has become known for.
Yeah, we know it's removing the weld off the door. The question is, like, what's the function it's using? Is it using the cutting multi-tool or the salvaging one?
No, I'm afraid that's a negative, Steve. I would have to add you to our system to give you override permissions and,
Anyways, now we're getting all caught up watching freaking... watching Squadron 42 videos. Yeah, the military multi-tool is pretty sick. Maybe the degreasing materials was like cutting. No, I think it was just salvaging. All right. Next up, I wanted to talk about the CR loves his drama. You'd not get your hopes too high for Academy Award-winning writing, though. Well, yeah. We all know how bad and cheesy the Wing Commander movie is. I mean, who wrote that? Who wrote the Wing Commander movie? I'm hoping it's different writers. They got, let's see, what are their names? Oh, that's terrible. Nathan. Crap.
I'm not quite sure if that's really
Dave Haddock and Will Weisbaum. Jesus. How did I forget these names? Okay. What have they written before? Let's see. Wing Commander's movie is pure 90s B-movie fun. That's exactly what people are looking for in the 2020s. In part, to focus on script writing, he moved to LA. He did QA testing. Afterwards, he decided to focus on his writing. Director assistant for the Outlander movie and... So I'm not seeing any major writing credits. Ah, here we go. IMDb. IMDb says writers Chris Roberts and Kevin Droney. Who's Kevin Droney? Never heard of that. He did write Wing Commander. I don't see. Oh, do you mean for Wing Commander? I thought you meant for Squadron 42. Let's see. William. Mr. Will. Major credits: God of War 3. God of War 3. I didn't play those earlier God of War games, so I don't even know how the story is in those. Anybody play that one? I played the reboot. I actually didn't play Ragnarok that long either. You miss Wing Commander now. Oh, by the way, hello. I saw in the chat earlier. Vasa makes Garda members watch Wing Commander at least once a month. It's part of his training period. I think, isn't it? Weren't you not even allowed to become a lead specialist till you did that? Earlier, God of War was as good story, if not better. Sorry, that was good food. Okay. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the writing. But that is definitely... That's the main point I'm thinking of, right? We know they make good spaceships. We know they've gotten good actors. We know the voice acting is pretty good. From even from a lot of the supporting actors. They've pulled a lot of talent, right? From just smaller theater and people in the a lot of people in the British acting community, I believe.
How much of a shitstorm we're flying into?
More like a hailstorm, Blue. One you ain't gonna fly out of.
Shut up. Now, I hadn't seen another ship that wasn't trying to kill me in days.
Okay, he's not a supporting actor. Pretty sure that's... What's his face? I don't remember his name.
Calculations are wrong.
Galactopedia.
That's also not a supporting actor. That would be Mark Hamill.
Their solar mass calculations are wrong, though.
Well, this is ridiculous.
How so?
We are now able to adjust our shot composition to final cameras.
And the graphics look
thanks to
great,
recently
right?
crafted space
Look at the freaking difference between what they did with the lighting before.
vistas and level art being
There's no worries
now.
there.
It'd be nice to know how much of a shitstorm we're flying into.
More like a hailstorm, Blue. One you ain't gonna fly out of.
Shut up.
So,
Seen another ship that wasn't trying to kill me in
good graphics, solid ships, good actors. We're already playing the game, so we know how the game plays. It's not top of the line, but I do think that if they polish it in, it can get there. And the level design seems all right. So it feels like the writing is really the writing and like the performance. It's got to perform well on launch, and then besides that, the writing seems like the biggest question mark. But you guys have seen how some of the other writing is. Maybe you can go off of that. Let's talk about quality, though. Quality and crafting. Because, oh my boy. Oh, geez. Let me pull up something here. They would be bashed either way. Yeah. If it isn't pristine, then CIG will be bashed to hell. You're just concerned about the older actors in Squadron. You want to know that their performances are done for chapters 2 and 3. You're gonna have to do a little time jump. Okay. We're gonna take a look at something here. Star Citizen mining quality. Let's do a little search there. And if you pull these up, actually I should be searching for this on here. Man, this is not the right way to be doing this. Okay. So I'm sure you guys have been seeing these posts about the quality ranges needing to be changed, and then nonstop conversation about how it should be better. Like a lot of these posts. I mean, if you go through and just search, ore quality is a nightmare, needs to be removed. Mineral quality is a terrible idea. About mineral quality, we're all very concerned. But one of the biggest things that people are saying that you need to be able to do is to combine all of these qualities and average them out so you don't have a bunch just stacking up in your inventories nonstop. In fact, maybe we could even look up. Crafting will eventually allow you to combine a ton of lower quality material into something higher quality. That would be nice for like a refining method. But a lot of the things people want is for you to be able to just like average it out. Now, you can do that in the game already. The problem is that when you average it out, it happens in the end of the process when you are crafting, rather than the beginning when you're storing. So you still have a crazy inventory situation. But I think one of the things to keep in mind is somewhere around here. Let's see. I think it's in the interface section. They say that they are going to be adding the ability to split and merge resource containers within the inventory where the quality averages out. Now, I think that doesn't solve everything. Doesn't even get close to solving everything. But I do see this brought up a lot as a possible way to help the situation we're in. And I think it's just kind of... We need a reminder that we got Tier 0. And unfortunately, Tier 0 is not going to be great. One of the big things that happens in Star Citizen is when something comes out, it just shows us how much more other things need to be fixed. It's kind of like how we have now gotten... I mean, we've started getting more missions and stuff, right? We're actually getting content to do, and it just goes to show, oh, the mission system needs an update. the missions are all broken, so you can't even get the blueprints you want. Why is that even more important now? Because they've added blueprints into the game. This happens for everything. Now they've added mining, the inventory is needed. Now the inventory is updated, something else is needed. We get finally some real content drops in the game to go play. We need social tools so we can play them better. And this is the unfortunate part of playing an unfinished and broken game, and I don't think it's going to change. This is just back to the pre 4.0 model of delivering stuff. I think a lot of folks maybe who are playing now weren't here for this time period, but after 4.0, we were getting a whole bunch of just like content drops. We weren't getting huge features that dropped into the game, may or may not have broken things, but added new features that pointed out holes in other parts of the game. But that used to be what this was all about. Once 4.0 dropped, they started focusing more on like content, you know? There was less feature additions and more of these kind of just storylines and armor packs and events and all that kind of stuff. So 2025 was cool. There wasn't a lot of newly poked holes like there are now. But we're back to features, and features don't come in finished because the game ain't finished. So I think it's just, you know, give this a read. Like, it'll at least explain a little bit more of what's supposed to happen. And then I would say give some suggestions based off of what they said here. Because if we just give feedback on what's in the game right now, when they've already delivered the plans for what's coming in the next however long updates, they're probably not going to really read it that much. Definitely need to work on inventory stacking capability, then hopefully refining gameplay will actually solve a lot of the concerns. Yeah. Dude, it's awful. Having 1,000 qualities is not fun. Unless you have a way to easily organize them, refine. I would love to be able to refine stuff to a higher quality. I think it should be a really, really steep cost to do so. You're losing a lot of your material. But I think it would be great. It's not just the ore quality. You've consistently come across rocks that you simply cannot break. 94k mass, 1040 resist with 50 resistance, and you get a couple SU of 600 quality. That actually fits right into the problem I was just saying. They bring something else in, lets us know something else is broken and needs an update. The reason that this is probably happening is because they left it somewhat logical in terms of the spread. They probably did some kind of half work to make it get there. But they're waiting for this. This is likely going to be where we get our update for actual materials in deposits that are scattered a little bit more reliably and more realistically around the planets. I can't speak towards space, but hopefully they take the chance to do it in space too if they're doing it on the planets. Now, the problem is this will only be true for one planet at a time, so it's going to take time to get there. But I do think that the scattering of resources right now is obviously terrible. It doesn't make sense. I don't think, though, it's worth discussing it from the idea that they would be keeping it the way it is. I think it is just broken right now, and that's unfortunate, but that's what I'm saying. New features expose where other things are broken. Hopefully they fix the mining soon, because it kind of sucks to try and sell mining stuff for money right now, or to mine in small scale. If you have a golem, you're a little cooked. It'd be nice to be able to buy the materials needed for crafting. You just like mining, and they have made mining horrible. We have a way for you to buy those materials if you like on our Discord. If you're part of GII, we've got a marketplace. I've been buying materials off of people for the last week. CIG needs to work on the rarity and distribution, but that's so minor compared to the lack of support systems, economy, and trade. One truth is, you kind of want to fish. We were up in Alaska last year. Lots of fish up there. No olives for lunch today? Don't be sick. That's disgusting. I just wanted to tell you about crafting and mining. It's not... I don't think it's as bad as it looks. Well, That makes it sound bad. I don't think it looks bad. I just don't think the problem of the 1,000 qualities, I don't think it's sitting perfectly, you know, it's not all in view right now. And while this does bring some confidence, I still think that it's something that I need to be seeing actually working when we can start refining them and when we can start combining them in the inventory, like they say here. This is a big one. This could be a big change. The other thing though, and then there's this new folder style management for materials of the same type, which are different quality. There's also that. So there's two big inventory changes that they're going to do here. The other thing is refining. Here, they're basically saying refining is going to be creating alloys and composites rather than increasing quality. And I really, really hope that they decide to reconsider that. They say that the primary input determines the quality of the refined product. So you really only need to worry about one quality type, but it's still, it'd be nice to be able to raise quality somehow through refining with catalysts. We'll see if that happens. Where does that leave salvage materials fit into this model for crafting? That's not, I don't think that's where it's supposed to be either, because that's another part of material collection. That's Maelstrom. Salvage materials are supposed to reflect the things that were used to craft those items. So if you craft a ship with different parts of certain stuff, when you go and salvage that ship, you scrape off the hull, you crunch the frame, you're supposed to get those materials back in a lowered quality. And I think they say that here somewhere. Let's see. Salvage. No? Construction materials split into the refined materials that the vehicle's made of. Yeah. So select materials are exclusive to this method, meaning you have to salvage alien ships to get alien metals. It's going to get a lot deeper than it is right now. And unfortunately, it is a tier 0 implementation. We're still there. Star Citizen's still in alpha. They are still focusing mostly on Squadron 42. I'm sorry. That's just the reality of it. But I think it is worth still considering where this is going to go in the future when we try to have conversations about what they need to fix right now. That's it. I'm just, it is actually surprising. Let's see if I can actually find one of those comments. Yeah, here we go. This person said it. Stacking them in a box will average the quality soon. And people are getting it too. Plenty of people are. Plenty of people are saying it does not need to go. They need to add a few UI changes. It's so interesting watching a game be made. I think most of the debates that come up during the game being made comes from how much information has been shared. Let's be real. Everybody makes mistakes. They probably make some decisions that are like, okay, we're going to go ahead and remind you real quick that that's not a good one. But I think for the most part, if you have the full picture, things will make sense. Just a matter of if they can actually deliver that full picture that they're aiming for. When they release Squadron 42, will the rest of the team focus on Star Citizen? Probably not the rest of the team, but quite a few of them. Right now, there are 888 people, I believe, working at the company. Is this the right file? It's 36 pages. How much is this? I think this is more pages. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Somewhere in here is the employee count number. It's actually something that we discovered when I was going over this with Skylark on the podcast. They actually hired more marketing people than dev people in 2024. And while I wish I could be like, oh, why would you do that? It clearly paid off in 25. Maybe they're not related, but it looked like it. You burned out on 4.7? Been touching grass following through streams? Dude, I've been touching the very grass that we've been growing. I need to show you guys. The lawn is still coming together. We're making progress. It's going well. We're going to soon inherit some pepper plants. Maybe a tomato plant or two. And I want to grab a couple succulents. Weird. I don't know where the employee count is. I know it's in here. Pretty sure it was at 888 though. So many numbers. Here we are. So they started the year at 888. They ended the year at 854. Oh, nope, sorry. They started the year at 854. They ended at 888. My bad. An olive tree, maybe? We ain't gonna be here that long. We just get all of our olives and stuff shipped from Turkey anyways. We actually have a lot of hazelnut trees in Turkey that's where we get most of our hazelnuts. No other game is as scrutinized as SC. No other game has been as open and transparent in its development. We normally don't even see any stuff from most games until they are in beta in less than a year from release. True, but most games also don't take as much money without delivering those said things first. Now, I'm not saying that's any reason for anything certain to happen, but there is a reason that Star Citizen is looked at differently from other games. But also that one game, that game about Golem. There's a scrutinized game, huh? Only 6 million for the wages? What are you looking at? 6.5 million? Here's that tax credit I was talking about. I don't see where wage information was though. Oh, here we go. No, this is 50 million. 51 million for wages. So they spend like about half of what they spend every year. They're putting into wages. You invested your 800, you'll never get your return. You're fine with it. Been waiting since 2014. What did you put the 800 into? Guitar Kid. Guitar Kid. Welcome in. WoW's made 10 to 20 billion, and lots of its player base hates playing it. Oh, he mixed up the 5 and the $sign. Yeah, everything in here is in pounds. Here's one thing. Here's something that I did not even cover in my previous video I did on this. I'll be covering it in the one this week though. The directors of the company actually took a pay cut. Going from 570 down to 407 in that year. So they were definitely starting to cut off wages at the top in 2024. We don't know how that went from there, trajectory wise, but I'm guessing since 2025 was incredible, it probably went back up. But there were cost saving things going on, and it was not just firing devs. It was also cutting director pay. Endeavor. Oof. Yeah, that's a rough one, dude. I'm sorry about that. The Endeavor is, I don't even have a prediction for when the Endeavor would come out. Although I will say this, they are making some pretty good progress on the important ship systems like modularity. I'm pleased with how they released the Mark II Aurora with the modularity. At least from what I've seen of it so far. So I wouldn't say now that the Endeavor is more than 6 years away, but I also don't know if I could say it's less than 4. That's probably not helpful at all. Very much not okay with things. You foolishly spent over 1,100 on medical and exploration a decade ago. That's also pretty rough, yeah. Medical is in a very weird spot. Dude, these crickets are going at it, huh? They said after game release a few years back. Did they? Did they officially say that? That's actually surprising to me. Still way too weak on meeting any realistic goals, and more pledged content is falling into obsolescence. More and more pledged content is falling into obsolescence. Why do you say that? Is that to specify pledged content over the regular content, like the regular content's being kept up? Or is it just to say like pledged content's also not keeping up? Let's say Squadron is releasing this winter. What's the latest we would hear release date? I would say latest, if it was releasing in October, latest I would expect is June. But I'm not a doctor, dude. Like, they could do whatever the heck they want, right? That's the sketchiness of it. If they give implants and cybernetics to the game, a la Cyberpunk, it'll give a cool gameplay loop for medical to work on. It's supposed to be cybernetics if you get injured too poorly or too much. It is gaming. Thank you for the Prime sub, dude. Appreciate you. Is the Origin ship going to be the 500 so they make use of that in their someday never 600 reward? The shade. I wish they had made the 300 a 200. I don't think they can shadow drop this. They do need to do marketing. Retcon the 300 series. I agree. I think that the 300's too big, or the number's too big. The 300 should be closer to the 400 in size. Just sitting here patiently waiting as all the other game loops come while you wait for passenger transport. I would honestly, hats off to you. If I was dedicated to passenger transport, I would not want them to bring it out soon. It'll be trash. Because then they're going to bring it out and they're going to make it so that it works for whatever we have now, which is nothing when you talk about smart NPCs. And so then it would just basically be cargo transport with an attitude, with some stupid line that you keep repeating. They transported my cousin! Why is cybernetics when you can essentially regenerate whole bodies? Cybernetics would be for enhancements only, but they should be more vulnerable to hacking gameplay or EMP. It is because when you regenerate the body, there is a possibility for the injuries that you had when you died to actually remain. So if you say get killed horrible death and your arm gets crushed, when you regenerate, there is a risk of you having, I think, what they call echoes or something, where basically your arm is useless, so they have to give you a cybernetic. You want Area 18 to change? It has to be more lively. Dude, Area 18 needs so much work. Has anybody been in the Transport Refactor preview channel? You're waiting for data running. What do you think of that loading screen? Do you think it's actually teasing data running? It's like very suspicious. Isn't there NPC drop-off coming with that big station mission for groups? Originally, I thought that might be the case. As we've gotten closer, I don't think so. I think if that really was going to happen, they would have said more about it by now in the monthly reports. And the way that they phrase it, I am starting to think that it was probably just like, it'll probably be ships in the station that you just have to escort flying out. I don't think it's going to be you fly a ship in, land, and pick people up. I hope it is, but even just look at the way that they kind of state how it works here.
Unknown faction, and you've got to open a hangar door which will allow you to release captives from the station. Which will allow you to release captives from the station.
See? You hear that? You hear how he says it will allow you to release captives from the station? They don't actually say that we're picking them up.
A hangar door which will allow you to release captives from the station. After you've opened the doors and that person's taken off, you've just got to make sure they get to safety.
Yeah, you just got to make sure they get to safety. Is that us?
So at this point,
is it us flying?
You've just got to make sure.
We're not told that Paladin is a player, you know? This all could be cinematic.
After you've opened the doors and that person's taken off, you've just got to make sure they get to safety.
Very ambiguous. And since it hasn't come up in the monthly report yet, I'm like, I just don't think that there's going to suddenly be NPCs that get on our ships. That person takes off. Yeah. Not that player takes off. Not that after you take off. Not that after you've gotten the NPCs. Not that they've gotten on your ship. They just say you can release the captives after that person's taken off. Who's that person? Probably that other guy that's telling me, where are you? The fight's over here. I need help. I'm dying. Ah! Sound familiar? But I would love to be surprised by it. I would freaking love if these were passenger transport missions being brought into the game. I hope it's players, but we'll see. I'm excited to see how this turns out. It is a interesting scenario to have without the voice chatting game and no instancing. We'll see. We all know NPCs can get in ships and navigate. What would happen if you come with a smaller ship like a Drake Cutter? What would the NPCs come aboard if you parked wrong? Well, obviously they would just take the ship from you and fly it out themselves. You should be a voice actor. That was a beautiful death scream. That was my off-camera death sound. This will be the only game where escort missions aren't a miserable experience because you have so much granular control over your walk and run speed. Oh. Oh my god, dude. Why are there so many video games where you have to walk alongside a person who's not walking at a predetermined playable speed? It's just the worst. I'm out here like having a conversation with this dude, super cinematic, feels good. I'm getting introduced to the game, music's playing, feet are up. I'm kicked back, but I have to keep running and then walking to keep pace with you, sir. Never heard of speed walking? There was this post last week. Station NPCs bugged into a capital ship and they were walking around using stuff. The one place, okay, there's one sign that maybe they could have something working. But it's from 2021. So take of this what you will, okay? They did at the time have a demo working where a passenger came out of the station, walked on board this person's Cutlass, and sat down in a chair and waited to get dropped off somewhere. The interesting thing though is they don't show them sitting down. And also the person has to follow the player. They don't get there themselves. So I don't know how far along the technology was in this demo. But again, my main thing is like, if they don't talk about it in the monthly reports, it's hard to know if it's coming up. Doesn't mean it's impossible. They do that a lot where they just don't tell us and then it's suddenly in the game, but I don't know. Social tools without a good API will be fine for small groups, but larger ones with high-level organizations will be devastated. You can't make your mind up if you're looking forward to it or dreading it. I mean, even just the ability to just talk to someone, right? If these locations aren't instanced and for some reason you end up in the same location as another person, wouldn't it be great to just know that you can reach them? Just a little back and forth. They did at least say in the monthly report that they're getting regional text channels working. Technical design was done for regional chats. So maybe that's just a few months away. Technical design is it's something. One of the annoying things NPCs that you have to escort and protect is voiced by Chris Roberts himself. Sounds exactly like him. Where are you going? Hold the line, citizen. NPCs get on your ship all the time at Pyro in outposts and they sit down? Really? Wow. You were watching an interaction loop at the one bar in Loreville. You were pretty impressed. The bartender poured a drink, served it. Another NPC picks it up and drinks it, then walks away with it. Was it safe? Were they okay? Got to make sure that the bartender's not killing people. You know, it doesn't prove anything at all, but it is funny to watch. Google Reddit. I have an NPC crew now. Wait, I think I've seen that video. I think the pathing you saw was leftover from the old Ship Week demos. Whatever it might be, it's all about priorities. I don't think they can't do it. I just don't think it's important enough for them to want to do it for this event. God, toast is so good. Anybody eating? Anybody currently enjoying a good meal? Every once in a while, I'll toss on the captain's table while I'm eating. So I get it. You see NPCs navigating ships like the 890 jump. during that boarding mission as well. Yeah, but I always wonder if those are, if that's like the NPC is dynamically pathing through the ship, or if it's all kind of blocked out for them. Rice and tuna. Nice. A good protein carb meal. Zaxby's is good chicken. Not bad. Time for you to go and play some Lost Judgment. Wait, why? Hold on, I've heard that. I've heard that name recently. Why is Lost Judgment being brought up? Do say more. Just got up after eating a great meal. Oh, it's one of your videos. Hope it was good. Hope you had fun. Hope it was good food. As an Ironclad Assault owner, you're just looking forward to the Drake Defense Con. Just wonder why all the posters claim 2 weeks of it. In the leaks. Oh, quesadilla. Hell yeah. I love a quesadilla. I had one last night, courtesy of Mrs. T. You just finished a pulled pork sandwich? You smoked it yourself, though. Definitely get an air horn for that, dude. Delicious. McDonald's because it was near and cheap. I am a big fan of McDonald's fries, not gonna lie. Savory rice, pork belly chops, and avocado, and the lowdown on SC. Great way to start the day. What the heck? You guys eat really good food. You don't think there needs to be dynamically generated pathing meshes for the majority of ships? Anything smaller than an Idris can probably have some manually placed nav meshes slapped down. Possibly. Lost Judgment is part of the Yakuza series. Great game, would recommend. Why? I wonder why I keep hearing it popping up. Did it just come out or something? Leaks are saying Drake Defense Con 2 weeks long. That's interesting. Hey, what do you guys say we keep our talking, right? I'm actually going to keep we'll keep our stuff up here so we can keep jumping into news and whatnot as you guys want. But since we're chilling here, I don't have anything dedicated to go over at the exact moment. If you have any questions, I'm happy to jump into anything else. But why don't we start working on our key bindings a little bit for the Hosos? Because if the desk is coming this week, I'm going to have to mount these bad boys up in the next few days and finally get started on actually using them. Oh no, we already I've seen the posters in the they're in our Discord. I was just wondering if CIG had put anything out about it yet. Time to authenticate. How about enjoying the new flight sticks? I've barely been using them. Barely an inconvenience. No, it was what's the line? What's the line the dude says in all of his pitch meetings? Not a problem. Barely an inconvenience. I don't remember. I've barely used them because they haven't been mounted. It's just very out of the way, and I don't have the desk set up to make them comfortable, so I've been waiting until we could kind of fix that. I'm going to mount them to the chair, give ourselves a little more room, and then I'll do a full review. Technology, thank you for the bits, my friend. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in here. Said thanks for all your info videos. Love watching them. No problem. I love making them. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. That's it. Thank you. Oh, what a classic. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. How do you write so well? Oh, I should be doing this in Arena Commander, huh? You just shove everything on one over-cluttered table It's kind of where I am right now. Like, if you've been here long enough, if you've been here more than, say, 3 weeks, you've probably seen me knock over some tea on my table. And I realize this is very detrimental to basically our living. So we went ahead and got a bigger desk, and I'm going to try and keep it more not messy. Free flight! Should we get our binding set up using the tank battle lobby? What do you mean error? 2 players needed. They not have the Guardian in the rentals? Strange. That's just strange. Okay. Give me the one that I rented, though. We good? We better be good. Here's a question for you. How is the blueprint hunt going for you? Find all the ones you want so far? You're almost done with Geist and Corbel? No, I've really, once I got Fresnel, I stopped trying. I did kind of get started on the P8. That didn't go very well. I'm thinking we'll probably get started again on Wednesday, doing some more blueprint hunting. I'm likely gonna, the P8 SC is not in game, which is really annoying to me. So I don't know what I'm gonna look for next. We'll figure something out. Your pal streams and does AV stuff. Sounds like a miserable life. Sorry, I hate audio stuff. He has a lot of troubles with his portable stick mounts and has left-handed. Portable stick mounts? What does he use? Anybody who has to deal with like audio technical stuff for a living, I'm sorry. Aopo and Nox. M50. Where's my ship? Are you serious? Y'all give me an M50? What? Testudo is your next goal. How are you guys picking the specific blueprints you want? Just based off of what you like in the game? Yeah, it says I have the wolf selected. What about the Karna? I'm not a big Karna guy. Okay, I'm guessing it's just wrong. It's just lying to me. No, why does it put me in an M50? All right. So far we've got forward and strafe. I can shoot. We got our boost going. Strafe up. Strafe down. Strafe left. Strafe right. Okay. That's not bad. Let's get down to the ground. Click on the M50 and it will let you change it. Okay. So What I need to do is start getting used to... Oh. No, wait, that's a really good idea. So this switches my operator modes, and holding it switches my master modes. That's a really good idea. And when I'm in master modes, I just pull the trigger to jump. Ooh, I like that. Okay. So I need to get like the more obscure key bindings down. The ones that I don't really think of, but I know I'm gonna have to use at some point. Do I think we'll see Caterpillar with the new patch? 4.8. So like how do these... Holy crap. I have no key bindings on this. I should probably get I should probably put these kind of controls on the Stream Deck. Anybody use the Stream Deck for Star Citizen? Did it work very well for you? Request landing on a button is a good one. That is a good one. That'd be in comms, right? Works pretty good. With VR, it's a bit difficult. Yeah, I bet. Use DualSense controllers sometimes. I'm got my big boy here. This is gonna be my main FPS controller. Once it works a little better. Movement? Really? Ooh, this is a good one. Advanced HUD toggle. What the heck is button 27? Where's button? Wait, we've got something for this, right? You rock. You know that? Button 27. Oh, these ones don't have the numbers. Advanced HUD. Tyrus. There's a very good Star Citizen profile for Stream Deck. For the big one? What's my graphics card? I'm running on a 3090 right now. Oh, Davetron. Hey, thank you for the super chat, dude. I really appreciate it. Y'all with the super chats over on YouTube are phenomenal. In fact, you deserve that. Don't see many super chats over on YouTube. Thank you, Dave. $30. Thanks, my dude. Yeah, 3090 is still solid. Big shout out to Vastin for that. Would not be able to run it without it. I do also think that helped me with my VR setup. I was running VR on a 3080 Ti before. And I think the combination of going to the 3090 and they got OpenXR working has made it run a lot better. And we're going to be doing a VR stream soon here, just so I can actually show it playing. Do not set the HUD to your stick. Just set it on game settings and leave it be. You will be wasting a key binding. Don't bully me. I don't know what is. I don't even know what button this is, you know? So I can't. How can I turn it off? I'm still looking for the ability to call. Targeting? Target hailing. Thank you. Hail
Thank
target.
you very much.
This is probably it. Alex! Mr. Blah Blah! I appreciate you, dude. Mr. Blah Blah is always here, elevating the stream. A real one in the garden. Blah. Blah. Thank you, brother. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Have I learned about shift mode on the sticks yet? What shift mode? Hail target is the phone. Yeah, I think you're right. No, I would be looking for... Dude, I don't even know what it's called. They really need to put a search bar into the key minings menu. Thinking... Oh, yeah, mining and salvage. That's a good call. Stopwatch? I forgot there was a stopwatch. Button 20? What's button 20? Flight movement for docking? The one to call ATC. I don't know what that's called. Woody Bear. Yo! Thank you for becoming a member. 22 months, though. Hope y'all doing well. Thank you, Woody. Appreciate you, man. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for supporting. Thanks for being here. What is the Arena Commander game mode for? Fighting, flying, practicing, hanging out. It's in flight movement. I was looking for it there. Ah, request landing. Okay, here we go. Button 4. Now I need to figure out what the heck button 4 is. I think this is my main problem. I don't know how to identify what they're telling me. This is button C1. Yeah, I don't really know how to find button 4. Y on the Xbox. That helps. I wish I was playing on the Xbox. This is light amplification, IFCS engineering assignment. Press in for flight ready. It's afterburner. Toggle. Oh, there we go. There it is. Button B1. What is that? Over here. Ah, okay. ATC request. So it's up here. That's such an interesting spot. Cool. Okay. Thanks, Tyrus. A hype train just started. Somehow. Okay. Toggle VTOL. What is toggle VTOL? Button 8. VTOL toggle. Okay, so this is button 8. Okay. At rapid fire. Weapon countermeasure deploy launch. Button C1. Displays the full B-movie script. Wow, that's an old reference, but a good one. All right, all of this is IFCS speed increments. Do they say what like buttons that is though? Dude, this is a crazy like whole thing to set these up. I feel like the best way for this to work is for the game to have an interactive situation because they call it whatever they want, right? They can just name it something. Basically have to go through it by experimenting. You know what I think I want to do, actually? Let's see if we could set these key bindings up for mining. Just going out and doing that game loop will probably get us into a lot of situations where I can see what I need to set up. That'll be fun enough, right? Maybe we'll find something good. You can spend hours binding, then there is a time setting your curves. I'm fine with it as long as I know it's not going to disappear at some point. If I'm doing this once, I want to do it and then not try and change it for the rest of my time ever, in the rest of my life, forever, till the end of time. I want nothing to do with it after that. What's up, Rabsonic? Welcome in, dude. How's your weekend? Thank you very much. Oh, my dude Po Boy! Holy crap, came in at the end of the freaking hype train. Dropping 5 subs in. Everybody, go get a Po Boy for dinner now in celebration. That's a gift from him to you. I have nothing to do with it. Thank you, Poe. If anybody ever told you that the Po sucks, just look at my man Po Boy. He's not a Po Boy, it was a play on words, sorry. You had a good weekend? That's cool. I like a good weekend. Oh, it's a 3-day weekend. How many people are off work right now? Kicking back, having a good day. Holy crap, guys. Welcome to the holiday. I forgot it's a holiday. Mrs. Tomato is trying to negotiate a giveaway for y'all. I told her I haven't received any high quality medical gowns yet this week, and therefore we will not give away anything. Actually, now that I say that, I kind of want to go check and see what's going on the farmer's market. Will you join me? Yes, I'm still a criminal. This just goes to show how little I play the game. You guys basically see anytime I come on, so it's so if it wasn't fixed last time I was on, it's not going to be fixed this time. Thank you very much. Any hits on my recent? Nope, no hits. Sag. PK, dude, holy crap! Dropping 10 subs in the chat. He said giveaway. I'm sorry, guys. I had to do the air horns. PK just dropped 10 subs in the chat. I was saying until YouTube met its goal. But honestly... Alright, yeah. We'll do it. We'll do it! My man PKP. Putting YouTube on his back. Shady, bro. It's all good, dude. I'm sure we've got something nice. I think, actually, if I'm not mistaken, there is a Cutlass package, possibly.
Welcome to the ASOS.
The holidays annoying you. You got a graphics card on the way, and the holidays totally longed you out an extra day or two. What graphics card are you getting? There we go.
Vehicle selected.
You're doing your VKB bindings at the moment. Do yourself a favor and download a VKB blank PDF of their site so you can keep track in what you're doing. So I'm using, this is a site my friend made. I say my friend, literally has a voice line on the stream. And it works kind of the same. You can basically move your sticks around in a non-sexual manner and kind of line it up based on how you need and do that sort of thing. Like, you can replace these, I believe. I really need to not run this. Any lag that you guys are seeing is not coming from this program. It's coming from Star Citizen running in the background. So yeah, you can have custom bindings, or you could switch to the custom plus defaults, and then you can, I believe you can change the settings down here. I'll send it to explore it a little bit more. As you can tell, only just now jumping into it. What if you want to move your sticks around in a mildly sexual manner? We're gonna have to ask you to go to a different stream for that. Sorry. We haven't spoken to Twitch about those kinds of possibilities around these parts. There ain't no such thing as mild round here. Should I get rid of my crime stat? Can I even get rid of my crime stat here? I don't know. Only getting a 350, but it's better than a 1060 you've got at the moment. 3 GB Zotac 1060. Bro, could that even run Star Citizen? Congrats on the upgrade. That's definitely going to be a nice step forward. What kind of CPU are you rocking? Oh, it's already there. All right, this thing's already going to piss me off, I know, if we take it out without putting anything on it. So let's go to the refinery real quick and grab something good. Yeah, we got nothing here. Let's go grab a helix and a couple of attachments just so we know we're not going to be completely hopeless out there. You think VRAM needs to be 6 gigs for it to run decently? Pay your fine. I don't even know where to pay it. They don't make it easy. The UEE is the kind of government that loves dishing out crimes, but hates alleviating you of the consequences when you don't commit them. We live in a police state. State? Can you call it a state if it's across multiple star systems? We live in a police system. Oh, it's not the refinery. Oh, admin? Of course. They want us to grovel and beg at their feet in admin to get out of trouble. They would. I'll send them a mildly critical letter. It does run it. You have a 3900X CPU, so you'll be back up to decent enough specs for Citizen, you hope. What about RAM? How are you doing on RAM? All right, we got the Arbor MH1. The UI has stopped working. Focus will be good. I'm gonna grab a few of these. just in case. Lifeline. Norfield, Optimum. Rhyme. I'm gonna need like a stampede. There we go. Man, I realized there's no surge here. So I guess I'm gonna have to stick with the stampede mainly. Let me see if they have any size 1 helix here. Optimal charge window rate and charge window. We can get a couple of these just to boost that up. Mainly, I think we're gonna... Oh, we got a helix. Okay, that should help. I could put this helix on with a couple focus to keep the charge window up. And then one last stampede. But I probably want at least one thing to lower our instability a little bit. Yeah, lifeline. Cool. So if I combine a lifeline, a stampede, and I want to say... Yeah, the lifeline, stampede, and the rhyme? Was it? Should be decent. I'll keep the helix and the lancet with us as well. And we could probably switch them out in the field. Graphic card been the last part you need to replace. Oh, that's good. You got 32 gigs already. Cool. Nice. That's going to feel really good to finally wrap that up. Is Rig in the chat? Hey, Rig. If you're in the chat, can we go ahead and call this my C2 certification test? Is that a thing? I don't actually know what that test is. That was way too big a bite of food. It's like 20% of my breakfast right there. Alrighty. We got some loot from before. We could just turn this in here, I guess, for now. Oh, man. All right, we'll grab these modules and our little gear. That's what I'm talking about, Rig. Rig's got the right energy there. I need to show you something good. Haven't you been sitting there looking at this beautiful face for the last 2 hours? Yeah. Okay, shut the f up. Hey, don't close it. I still need to get the lasers. Please come back. Open set. Didn't the freaking Fortune come out last year? Where's the gold pass for this thing, huh? How do I open the dang door? There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely bringing some extras. Maybe I don't have enough extras, though. You're not getting paid, though, so you're not giving in so easy? Oh. Man, I thought we were at least giving PK some kind of, I don't know, some kind of compensation, right? Then we have a couple of Yormandi tongues to toss his way or something. Yeah, here we go. You want a Yormandi tongue? PK. PKP. Rules are rules. They're not rules if they don't apply to all. If we don't have rules, then things degrade to madness. Nonsense. Give me every certification right now. I won't hear anything else. Get in the ship. No? Okay. Gotta get this one off anyways. Which means unlocking the ports. Finally got your P8 AR blueprint. Nice. How long did that take? What's up, Gumbo? You got your NASA badge. Wow. How long did that take? Think you can get a piece of word from FIFA if you want one? Yeah, I put one on order. I actually got the piece of word for blowing up a couple of outposts in Pyro. They were like, wow. You've brought peace to the area. We now no longer have to go to Pyro to raid people. Oh, you got it for watching the live stream on Twitch. What? YouTube, where's your badges at, huh? Why would I even watch a live stream on YouTube anymore? If I didn't get a badge for it, was I even really watching? Come on. Just rotate a little bit. Just spin around. There you go. All right, you're still coming with us, buddy. I hope it fits in the ship. About 11 turn-ins of the Mandy Eyes. 11's not too bad. That's what, 44 eyes? Dude. We're terrible. What am I even talking about? That's insane. Imagine being like, it's not so bad that you just murdered 22 individual living sentient beings and then turned in their eyes so that you could get the ability to create another gun. That's completely fine. I don't think the UEE has any sort of problem with that whatsoever. Actually, the UEE wouldn't. It's probably the problem. All right. Tell me you can fit in here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah! Oh, so close. Yes. Yes. Haha. Couldn't do this 3 years ago. Would have blown up the whole ship already. All right. Just stay there, okay? Here, you can nap. Just take a... Uh-oh. You don't like beds? You don't like bedtime? Are you one of those kids? I was one of those kids. All right, fine. You can just hang out. This is the specialist mining cert, okay? Oh, here I am still not using my hoe sauce. All right. How can Misk help you today? One of the things I bought with the new desk coming was a low-profile mic arm because I just cannot wait any longer. This thing is, it's going to be a problem. My arm is constantly almost hitting it. So hopefully that'll be less, it won't block the light as much too. All right. What's my landing gear button? Can I remember that? No, probably not. Landing gear, landing gear, landing gear. Oh, here's open all doors. What is this? Up and down? Really? Oh! Wow. Okay. Huh! Wouldn't have known. Wouldn't have known. Unlock all ports. Interesting. Weapon convergence distance absolute. Wow. Master mode cycle. Target lock. Push to talk. Not seeing it. Let's see if I can find it in here. Right control? What? Why? I feel like we could do better than that. Oh, self-destruct. No. What's this? EVA. Okay, that works. So far, so good. Kind of. We're flying. How quickly will we blow up, eh? Let's go ahead and hit up the Aaron Halo belt first, since that's going to be pretty close. No idea where I need to drop out, though, to land inside of it, so we'll just kind of do a little guess here. What's my golem setup? I'm in a prospector right now. Got a helix miner on there. Haven't put any of the attachments on just yet. Figure we'll get out there first, see what we're coming up against. Some way to sell all your cargo at once? Is it loot or like commodities? If it's loot, you should all put it all in the same box. And then try to sell that box. To be honest, I'm just too lazy to open the chart. I just really hate using my web browser while I'm using Star Citizen. Realm Drifter, you're not late, you're right on time. All right, distance to Stanton marker. $35. Okay, so we need to get well further inland. You're trying to sell medical crates and stims. Maybe they have too much inventory where you are? You should be able to sell them in bulk, though. Interesting. I'm gonna mind my speed limiter is. What am I dealing with here? There we go. That was weird. A lot of people are selling those now because they're so easy to get. Big cargo commodity right now, huh? Hello, Active. How's it going, man? Good to see ya. Did you get a shout out for Active in chat? What do you mean blocked by nav point? So you can't. Okay, fine. Oh yeah, Aaron Halo is between Hurston and R-Corp? R-Corp and Crusader. Damn, bro. Let me change my path. It's not all about you, Stanton. It's so naggy. Crafting should start with the staples and consumables. And pencils. Obviously, CIG put out a diverse blueprint range to exercise the mechanism and get users interested in Tier 0. Yep. Hope you're well and your wife is well with the baby. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, no, the baby is becoming much more opinionated. He likes to start punching and kicking whenever we talk about certain things. Like the release of Squadron 42, he has a real problem with that. Why do they change the QT travel to change your alignment like it matters in space? I think it's always been like that. If I'm not mistaken. It always has spun you around, I think. All right. So we are now between R-Corp and Hurston. Let us see. I think that's that might be Hurston. That's R-Corp. And there's Crusader over there. But it still looks like we're too far out, possibly. What we're looking at, about 20K to get there. Yep, still 24. So we're gonna need to travel another about 4 million kilometers. It used to be this way a long time ago. Oh, I guess I never noticed. So we need to get down to 7? I think they changed it with 4.7, man. I didn't notice that. No? Oh. Okay, we got some asteroids around here. Not much density, though. Yeah, it's like not great. Let's see how far we are from the star. $19.7. So we are a little bit too close. I'm gonna jump back. 19.7. So we need to travel about another 300,000. So right here we're clocking in at 19.3. So once that hits 19, we drop out. We should be in a much more dense area. Yep, that looks better. All right. Now we start searching. I'm not looking for anything in particular, so I'm not too focused on building up my laser yet. Let's just get out here, do a little bit of scanning, and see what we find. This is mainly so I can figure out what the heck I have to do with my controls. All right, so that's how I couple and decouple. That's a little too easy. I'm going to want to move that. I want to move that to like... maybe this button here. Okay. CS1 and tier 3 Legrange. What's going on here? I'm a badass, dude. And I'm always in trouble. I'm always on the run. Can't stop me. You always forget Autoland is a thing until you hold N a little too long. It's kind of nice, though. It's a nice surprise. Sounds like an old tax evader with a cane. Dude, tax evasion is one of the best hobbies of today's age. What do we have here? How do I change to mining mode? How do we change to mining mode? Let's see. Let's think. If this changes my... Let's change to SCM. Should be able to change to mining by just tapping it, right? No, it's just not letting me switch into mining mode. Okay. Keyboard it is. Hey! Let me scan ya. Ooh, I'm learning too many things at the same time right now. Okay, I'm just gonna switch to mouse and keyboard real quick and see why. What's going on here? Brother. Why am I not getting a reading? Oh.
Tax evasion? What is this T1900?
Good lord.
What's next? Bootlegging. Kind of exotic. Since you like exotic stuff, you can use those coupons to buy more screws that you seem to lose. Hey, in case we forgot to tell you happy birthday, which was sometime in the late 1900. Did you know you are our favorite baby hand streamer? We will call you BH for short. While you walk out into the void without your helmet and thirst at 9%, always remember you can do better. We know you can.
What? Why? Where does the baby hands thing come from? Obama, why are you such a bully on stream, dude? When is this? The 1900s? I'm pretty sure tax evasion's worse now than it's ever been. And I can't mine this rock, dude. Am I missing something? Professional super fancy miners in the chat. What's up? It's not even giving me a reading of the rock here. My shit broken? Is it because of... Maybe this thing needs more power? Oh, radar? No, I had the radar on. Bugged rock? Dude, all of these are bugged? That freaking sucks. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, there's like a rock inside of it. It's like the outer shell is not real, and then... Oh, it's like one of those terrible candies you'd get as a kid. Let's get something else. Stay in scan mode while you're flying. Alright, let's give it a go. Shooting rocks usually fixes it. Alright, I'll try shooting them next. It wasn't letting me put my laser up anymore. I don't know why. Titanium. We're gonna be rich. I don't actually know what titanium is even used for in the game right now. All right. So from here, what was the button for switching modes again? That one? Yeah. This doesn't switch me into mining mode for some reason, though. That's weird. Is there another button for mining mode, maybe? Come on, please let me freaking scan. Mining mode is a different mode. Is that already keybound? Master mode cycle. Why isn't mining mode just in the list of operator modes? That's so weird. Yeah, this is too bad, dude. It seems like everything I'm finding is just not working. Mrs. Tomato has pushed the new giveaway live, by the way, folks. We have a cutter giveaway package going up for the month, thanks to the folks today on Toes Gang. Alex K. Blah Blah, Po Boy, Boltson, Dave Tron, biggest of all, PK, coming at the end to secure the cutter giveaway. Thank you guys for the support day. Best of luck. Hop onto a new server, really? Do we still do that? Server I'm on is having issues. All right. Okay. We shall see. Did I just sit down? Sleep. Go to sleep. Ow! Oh, god dang it! I should have known. Should have known that would happen. Hey, we came back. That's not strange at all. But you know what? I'll take it. Is there anything else I can... Oh god. I think I'm stuck. Pretty sure I am stuck in the bed. Let me go. Let me be. Nope. Nope. Thought that might do it. Dude, what is going on? I think I broke something. Yes! Oh, sweet God. Let's get out of here. Whew. Okay. That was exciting. All right. Hopefully that has fixed our problem. Let's jump in and see. Oh boy, look at that. We are right back where we were. Oh, JK. We've survived. Now I just need to drink some water. It's been a rough day, folks. It's just... Bless this guy for all he's trying to do just to show us what mining looks like with a V. Hosas. Okay, but where's your water? Put it into your hand. For fuck's sake. No. No. Is it empty? Must be empty. Okay, that's fine. We'll die. At least we can mine while we're doing it. Oh, the mining rock is gone. So we just completely lost here. Hopefully that fixed the problem. Let's see. Oh, we got some more titanium ore. Scanning's working. We got agresium, titanium, nothing really all that great. Agresium and titanium. Again, not amazing. But I don't have any agresium or titanium, and we're here mostly to experiment, so how about we crack this? Man, you gotta get real close, huh? Alright. So, for this to work, I think I'm just using this. Yeah, it's got a little dial here on my VKB stick, and I'll just try it this way. Gonna raw dog this one. Instability is not too bad. I don't know why, but it keeps popping as if it's losing the sense of my laser being focused on it, but see if we can hit it either way. I do not like the instability here. Yeah, the instability is wild. Not crazy about it, but it's not terrible. As long as we can keep steady right there. Yeah, it's a lot easier to use this than a mouse wheel. Whoop. All right, I wonder how I switch mining lasers with this. It wouldn't be anything like that. Mining. Switch mining laser. Button 3. What is button 3? Button 14, button 12, button 13. Are you button 3? How about you? No? You? You? Any of you button 3? You button 3? This one? No? That one? How about, no? How about you? Ah ha ha! I still have to crack that. I'm over here trying to figure out what the freaking thing is, and I'm not even ready yet. We're shaking, we're vibrating, we're feeling good. Nice and hot and toasty in the hood. Crack a rock, sock 'em bop. Do the talk, real nice. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Explode! Yay! The hell was that? Dude, all my sound bites are so wrong. I hate it. It's no fun this way. Whoop. Okay, switch, please. There we go. All right, getting a little agresium. I mean, it's over 500 quality, which I think is decent. Just in case we need titanium at any point. We're here for the experience anyways, right? Didn't you say something about drinking water? My bottle was empty. What am I gonna do? You wanted to give this guy a C2 rig. Mrs. T came in filled up my real life water. Ew. What do we got back there? All of this is the same. It's mostly the same agresium at this point. I don't have any, there's no titanium I really want from this. Like all the titanium is pretty low. Yeah. Let's get out. We are going to have to head back pretty soon. Wait, do we have... Ew! Raw ice? What do you think? We want to, like, drink water? $1,000 quality materials is way too many. Should be more like 10. I disagree. 10 levels would be boring. And let's be real, if there were 10 levels of quality, if it was like 1 to 10, we'd be getting things that were like 9.4 quality. Because 10 steps is just so little.
Excursion mode on. Mining mode on.
524. $507. Sick. This is all aluminum anyways. I guess you do need some good aluminum for the guns. Aluminium, yes, that one. 618. $575. No thanks. It should have been 1,024. How very computer of you. Whoops. Sorry, I thought you guys were way further away. Oh, now you are, huh? Come on, give me something good. You usually stop by running into the asteroid. It's effective. 100, 1,000, still way too many. I don't know, man. I like the idea of 1,000 levels. I like the idea of that much variability. I don't like the idea of not being able to affect those levels. Come on, I want at least one more good rock. But I hear you. I hear you on wanting 100 over 1,000. No one is looking at the second digit of the 1,000 quality system. All I ever hear is under 500, over 700. Could just be under 5 over 7. Yeah. technically. At the end of the day, the quality is all the same. It's just a matter of how we demarcate it, the changing difference of it, and where your decimal point is, right? Oh, debris. That's wonderful. That's my favorite thing to mine. Come on, give me something. Give me something to shoot. Copper! I don't run into copper too often. I hope it's decent. Copper actually does show up in a few of the Volt weapons, I believe. Or is that gold? That might be gold. Copper's got to be in something, though. $610. It's not bad. $590. Why not a million levels then? A billion? Well, because the same reason that you cut off your trailing decimal points in any number. Eventually it gets too long. There is a limit. I like candy. Doesn't mean I want to eat 10 pounds of it every day. All right, we'll crack this one, see how it goes. Man, they want you to be so close to these rocks now. Oh yeah, sure, easy. Right, computer. Max power, you're still struggling to get up there. Wouldn't it be funny if we rolled up to this rock and instead of copper ore, it was just like copper ingots? It's just a asteroid full of ingots out here. Call us an ingotsteroid. Something. Ew. Yeah. I have no modules on the laser. What do I expect? I mean, I would expect the computer to take that into account and not say easy. .997 of data means 997 out of 1,000 instances. 1,000% of the time, it's wrong. These aren't very good brakes. What happened? Man, there's not very much high quality ore in this brake. I guess it was a pretty low percentage initially. Just this 610. Freaking ton of inert material with it though. It's not like we're that full. We gotta head back to the station anyways. Hello. What are you? 590. $610. Okay. Secret code? What do you want to like win a cutter or something? By the way, if you have turned in relatively recently, folks, we are still giving away a cutter. We just started the giveaway right now, today, courtesy of Toe's Gang. Special shout out to PKP for wrapping that one and actually pushing the giveaway to happen today. If you're on Twitch, you get extra points into that giveaway literally just for being on the channel and watching. You don't have to do anything else. So make sure to keep an eye on how many points you are getting over the course of these streams. And in the next couple of weeks, just keep putting them in. You'll get extra entries and another good chance to win. I've seen multiple people win it based off of just using those points. You also, if you follow, you get extra points. And if you do anything to support on Twitch, that gets you extra points. But obviously, following and watching is completely just enough. And the secret code is apparently Cutter Me Tomat. Very Mrs. Tomato. You want refining to change a lot? You got your expanse waiting and would like to see more than a click button wait for timer. I do think it's going to be different. I think they've got something planned with the catalysts and stuff. I just don't know really what yet. It's only called quality because that can be used to describe all materials. Really, it should be ore quality, but elemental purity. Yeah, feels like that, right? But the fact that we can't refine it into higher quality kind of kills that for me. I really, really hope that they do have a Star Citizen live soon where one of them can talk specifically about why they don't want us to be up refining qualities. I've seen what a lot of players have to say, but developers have a lot more insight into their specific code and the system they're making, so I hope that they get a chance to explain that in some way.
Or save your points to hear me speak your words. Words are great, are they not? They tell you things that others want you to know. Like if you are walking around with your fly down.
True, but those people have to actually be willing to tell you that. You might want to use your points because we're probably going to be starting to look at the economy again on Twitch and getting our, like, all of the stuff. Once we reset the desk, one of my big plans is to actually start using either ATOM or StreamerBot. ATOM just released a new update to their app, and I think I might actually try using that one as our maintainer of the stream going forward instead of Stream Elements. Once we do, though, your points will become much more useful. That doesn't mean start shooting me. Didn't somebody else try to get me shot earlier? Towards the beginning of the show, I think somebody put in a shoot request. Now it's just Leo Nim causing problems. Refining should be the only thing that affects quality. And putting on a good suit. I don't think the Mark II means we're closer to the Arastra. I am hopeful we see the Arastra in the next couple of years, but I don't think they're working on it right now. Thanks, Rig. Ah! Ah! Ow! The mic! God.
Double the fun.
Just a bunch of violent people. Hey man, sorry we never used while you were out there, but I appreciate you being here. You thought refining was going to be a whole minigame where you affect the yield and quality. You affect the yield and quality of the item you made. Refining is basically crafting V2. Well, I don't want to say V2, but it's like crafting extra. You basically are just using the materials you already crafted and combining them with another material to make something new. Don't you hate it when you go so long without drinking you can barely see? I don't mean alcohol. That's the opposite. I got modules for it. I just didn't put any of them on yet. Drinks! There must be drinks in here. Could have sworn there was a round of verse or 10 for the chairman that brought this up. Brought what up? Refining? So you want quality to be determined at the mining site as well because that gives explorers a game loop finding high quality resource nodes. I don't know. I don't want the quality to always be determined at the mining site, but I want people to have the ability to go out and do so. Obviously, you can't just make it so that somebody can find 200 level titanium and then up, you know, you find 5 SU of 200 quality titanium and then you up refine it to, there's probably drinks down here, right? You up refine it to 600 quality titanium. It's not like you should be getting 4 SU back of that. You should get like 0.001 SU back of that. It should be a hugely demanding process. But I don't think it should be impossible. Hell, maybe you need good catalysts to craft the best stuff. In that case, explorers can still be useful for finding those great catalysts. I want a drink. Cruise? Cruise, baby. I can't tell which one's my backpack. I think it's this. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. Take that back off. Just ruining your hair now. No, don't do it. Put the bottle in your hand. Put the f***ing bottle in your hand. Take your helmet off. No! I'm just gonna die because of this helmet. Okay, helmet's off. Now carry the bottle. Now drink the water. Jesus. What if we craft a tier 5 refinery? Well, I guess you just broke the game, brother. All right, I'm not concerned with the timeline here. So we're going to go ahead and... Oh, we're just going to take these two. Did I not get any good titanium? guess I should take them all just in case. It doesn't hurt to have materials on hand in case we need them for something. All right, we're gonna go higher yield. Damn, that's fast. Yeah, I guess we didn't really collect that much anyways. Cool. Explorers and speculators should find the resource nodes. Miners and gatherers should gather them. Refiners should increase the quality. Crafters should craft components. Crafter B should combine components into their end-user items. The entire loop should be recursive, allowing higher quality items to be used to scan, gather, refine, and build more efficiently and effectively. I like it. Dynix is the way to go. Is that how it's always been? I feel like I always used to, back in the day when I actually did mine, I used to always switch between two different refining options. One was like really, really long but had great yield. The other one was kind of long. Didn't have as bad of yield, but it wasn't that expensive. Are you the only one getting confused by calling something tier 1 the highest? Can't count that way. Tier 2 is higher in your head. Might be an Albion Online issue for you. No, I'm sure it can be confusing. It's a nomenclature kind of thing. Actually, yeah. So tier 1 is the lowest when it comes to crafting. Tier 1 is only the highest when it comes to injuries. Consistent, I know. Always Dynix for you, just set and forget. You say that. I have probably forgotten at least half a dozen refinery jobs. When I used to come in here, I'd do some mining, we'd set it up, and then I'd refine for like 6 days. And I would completely forget about it until the next patch was about to come out. And I'd be like, my refinery jobs. And then I'd be like, I don't really care that much about them. I don't need the money. Now I do care. Now quality, now freaking... I don't even care if it's lower quality. I just want to have the commodity on hand so I can craft with it. That's nice. Sometimes you just want to make stuff. It doesn't have to be the nicest, highest quality stuff. For instance, can I make anything today? We can make some ammo. Lucky me. What is AO3? Terranite I need, okay. They need a back button. Oh, okay, cool. Takes you back to the same page. That's not a bad level, Frenno. You could do better, though. You guys can't even see that. Not terrible, but we could do better. I think I want to get above 900 level tungsten and genolite and see what that can do us with one of these guns, but... If anybody has any of these materials, let me know. You can come sell it. I'll buy it off you, and I'll make you a gun. And hopefully more. That's it for me today, though, folks. We talked some news. We did some mining. We checked out their quality, all that jazz. I'm going to be back on Wednesday, potentially with a guest. I am not, actually. We're not going to be back on Wednesday. That's right. We have our baby meeting. We're going to do our anatomy scan with the baby, so it's going to be actually a big day for us on Wednesday. I will be gone. And next time you see us, actually, this is not going to be here. No. Instead, you guys are going to be over there. And then this is going to be the background. And we'll have a new desk. And we'll do like a whole freaking... a whole look at it. Maybe I'll be online on Thursday, but I will definitely be back on Friday for you. Oh, This Week in Star Citizen came out? Okay, we can look at that first. And then we go. I actually forgot today was that day. All right. Before we sign off for the day, what's going on in Star Citizen this week? I don't think it's going to be too crazy, but we'll see. Tuesday, it says they've got a subscriber comm link and newsletter landing with fresh flair for the subscribers. On Wednesday, it is time to get busy. One can say, like a bee. Captains of Industry launches, and alongside it, the real Misc Hull B. We've got a behind the ships and a Q&A to get you acquainted before you take the controls. I wonder how much of what we saw, I wonder how much of what we saw there was actually the Hull B, and how much of it was kind of faked for that video. Either way, should be interesting. If you didn't see the Hull B, I'll give you a quick look real quick. They made a joke of it. The hell? But I do think, obviously, this is all real. Tractor beam there is real. I'm wondering how much of this part is real. How much of this little flippy part? Because I would believe it sticks out like this. I would believe it turns over so you have easier access from the bottom. I could see that. It would be kind of weird if it flew like that, though, with them sticking straight out. Now, plenty of folks have been saying, like, from that 404 mention, the Misc 404 or whatever, that it does have the shape with the X shape of the Misc Hull series, but I don't know. We'll see. We just know it doesn't work like this. How will you get 500 cargo on those spindles? Yeah, I guess maybe it's not enough. Maybe what they did here is they just made one invisible and then the other one visible. And they just kept doing that over and over, and that's how it flapped. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they did the cargo here. But I do think that the rest of this is the Hull B. And whatever else is on there will be mostly functional. Interesting, though, they mentioned Captains of Industry. We'll find out what that is, I'm sure. Important note, the live servers are going down for scheduled maintenance on Wednesday at 11 a.m. UTC with up to 6 hours of downtime. Holy crap. Make sure you've logged out of the game and closed the launcher completely before then. Once servers are back up, open the launcher fresh before logging in. We'll keep you posted on progress via the RSI status tracker. So like I said, I'll be gone for that anyways. I will hit you guys all with this kind of news on Thursday. Stick around. I'll throw you something in extra since it won't be the first news drop. Lastly, for Wednesday, they said, we're teaming up with our friends at CLX Gaming to launch a month-long PC giveaway with plenty of ways to enter. If you're planning to visit our Star Citizen booth at Level Up Expo in Las Vegas from April 24th through 26th, you'll be able to earn a hefty amount of bonus entries just for stopping by, with even more up for grabs if you can come in cosplay. Somebody just put on like a plastic bag on their head. You can find that's not because of Lorville. You can find the full details about Level Up in our recent comm link, and we'll be sharing more information about the PC giveaway very soon. They've done this before, PC giveaway. I think they did it late last year. Just more hubbub, more stuff going on in the community, keeping the excitement, the energy high. Finally, on Thursday, the Captains of Industry Free Fly kicks off from April 9th to the 20th. So we got a free fly coming up. If anybody has been asking you about trying out Star Citizen, obviously it can be a little bit rough during free flies, but they have been doing, I think, okay at keeping it somewhat manageable and more smooth than it used to be during free flies. Now is the time to try it out, especially because there are more things than normal to try out in the game right now. Just don't expect to get it all done in one day, and like, take your time. They say try out some of the most sought after specialist cargo ships on the market and find out if the hauling life chose you. The event is open to anyone with a Star Citizen account, so if you're looking to expand your crew, there should be plenty of new recruits in the verse. Friday also then closes the week off with an RSI newsletter landing in your inbox. A little something to read between the halls. Now, I'm guessing Captains of Industry is 4.7.1. If that is the case, that would mean that we are getting a few more missions coming in with that patch. And if we look at what those missions are called, they call it Nick's Missions Pack 2. Adding a second pack of new missions while also expanding some existing missions to be server-wide with the return of courier missions and other delivery missions. So, yeah, okay, Captains of Industry, sure. We'll see. We'll see how much there is a focus on industrial missions for this, but I would just see it as a chance to get a free fly in. Nothing too crazy or worth like skipping out on other things for. But now's a good time to try the game if you've been thinking about it. So keep an eye out on that. I'll be covering how the game is kind of doing when it starts out and let you know if it's worth jumping in for yourself. But honestly, it's a free account. It doesn't really, it doesn't take much to have that access when it does come up. Hit up jointomato.com down below in the description if you'd like. You can sign up for an account there, get a few extra credits, give one of our supporters one of their own rewards, and feel extra special because who doesn't want to be in a garden? All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed that one. Catch you in the next. And for the rest of you who are here for the live, appreciate y'all. Wednesday has the roadmap roundup as well. Yeah, we didn't get one last week, huh? Interesting. All right, well, like I said, we're going to be out for the next couple days, rebuilding the room and doing our baby stops, baby talks. But I hope you guys can enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to pass you over to another Star Citizen streamer. Looks like Chachi is having his birthday. So I'll send you over there. You guys can go celebrate his birthday with him. He's doing some VR. We will have to get into another VR stream, or our first VR stream, like I said. I will be doing that with like the new setup because now it actually runs for me and I want to show you guys what it looks like. Expect that maybe next week. But until then, love you all. Is the baby going to talk to you? Of course. He's a talker and a kicker. You guys have a wonderful day. Treat yourselves well. Do something you love. Eat something you love. Give somebody you love a hug. You know all the things. You're good people. You deserve some good things. And, oh, the cutter giveaway is not going to end for a while. You got plenty of time to get in there. Treat yourselves well, folks. You're good people. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye, y'all.